Welcome to the We Are OneBlood Career Series, live on Facebook. Today we are going behind the scenes so that we can introduce you to our medical technologists. Now, you may not have known that we have medical technologists working at OneBlood, but we do. And in a moment, we're going to show you the life-saving role that they play and the career opportunities available at OneBlood for medical technologists. I'm Susan Forbes, Vice President of Marketing and Communications at OneBlood, and your host for the show. Now, when you think about OneBlood, chances are our famous big red buses come to mind, as well as our many donor centers. Those are two sides of our operations that most people are familiar with because those are the places where people go to donate blood. But there is a lot more to OneBlood that you don't see. For example, there are hundreds of people who work behind the scenes in our many different laboratories. Among them are medical technologists. These team members perform very intricate work for patients with very specific blood transfusion needs. Now, this is the perfect time to shine the career spotlight on our medical technologists because this week happens to be National Medical Laboratory Professionals Week, a time when we celebrate and recognize the many team members doing life-saving work at our labs. Medical technologists are in high demand in the medical field, and OneBlood has a few special benefits for medical technologists who join our team. And look who's joining us, our Senior Vice President of Human Resources, Carl Pierce. He's back with us, this time from Fort Lauderdale. Hey, Carl, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Susan. How are you?
I'm good. I see you're in one of our laboratories there and wearing your special coat.
I am indeed. I've donned my lab coat for today, and I'm here in our Fort Lauderdale lab. I'm really excited to be sharing some more details around the benefits that we offer to our med techs a little later. But before we do that, we thought it'd be really good to share a bit more background on the role of the med tech itself. And nobody better to do that than Jean Dariotis, who's our Senior Vice President of Labs here at OneBlood.
But medical technologists are healthcare professionals that often come with a college degree in a science and special training beyond that. There are lots of specialties that a medical technologist can get involved in. One of them happens to be blood banking. So at OneBlood, we employ a fair number of medical technologists, actually about 300 of them in our staff of 2,400. And of those professionals, they work throughout our organization in many different labs across the state. The majority are in our testing labs. And those testing labs are the people that solve problems when patients have difficulties. You're ready to have a blood transfusion and they say, get 2 units of blood, and they send the sample and the sample goes out the door and you're left wonder where that sample is going. Well, the sample's going to the laboratory. And down in the laboratory, there's a medical technologist, and that medical technologist is doing blood bank testing, often called immunohematology. And those tests help determine compatibility of a patient so that you know that the unit of blood that you're getting matches your blood type and also matches other antigens and antibodies that you might have. Very important to make sure the blood survives when you get transfused. But it's an exciting field. We hear about new opportunities with the cellular therapy every day. I think all of us hear it in the news. And those people are on the cutting edge in our laboratory. And the excitement that I found in blood banking was that I got to solve problems. And that was unusual for all the other disciplines I was involved in. I liked the fact that I would get a sample of blood and a patient was waiting for me to help provide exactly what they needed. A blood transfusion is really a mini organ transplant. It is sending live cells into your body, sending more oxygen carrying capacity. And for anyone that's had a family member who themselves has had a blood transfusion, knows that the pickup that you get from a unit of blood and how important that is.
Great. So a big thanks to Jean for providing a bit more background on the role of a med tech here at OneBlood.
Absolutely. We're glad Jean could be part of this show. And we want to hear directly also from one of our med techs because we're putting this week, we said, let's put this career spotlight on one of our team members who is actually a med tech here, and that is Alexander Bleichner. He's a medical technologist who works in St. Petersburg in our reference lab, and he's sharing his story.
Hi, my name is Alexander Bleichner, and I'm a medical technologist at OneBlood. I work in the reference department. I know I wanted to do, when I went to school, I wanted to do something in the medical field. So after I graduated in an undergraduate biology degree, I found this program here while I was working, and I thought it to be the perfect field for me because I was able to use my education and help save lives. On a day-to-day basis, I solve complex antibody workups. Once I'm able to identify and ID that antibody, I then provide cross-match compatible blood for that patient. There's many blood types. There's actually 230 different blood types and counting. They haven't been all found, and till this day, they're still finding new antigens on blood cells. We deal with the most clinical significant antigens. My job is very neat and cool because on an everyday basis, I get to deal with many different types of reagents. No machine. It's just you. Of course, you have your centrifuge, which you need that, and you just have a cell washer, which actually automatically washes your red cells to make sure that it washes out any unbound antibody complexes. And these magical hands. I like working here at OneBlood because I'm able to help save lives. I do believe I save lives because I know that there's a patient on the other side and that they're in desperate need of blood.
So as you guys can see, Alex has got a real passion for the work that he does here at OneBlood, and our other med techs have also got that same passion for the work that they do here, for sure.
Absolutely, they do. And they're in such high demand across the country. Medical technologists are even more so now because many baby boomers who were med techs are now starting to retire. And there's not enough people, following in their footsteps in that field of work.
That's right, Susan. It's a really competitive marketplace that we find ourselves in. And that's why it's really important that we have very competitive benefits for our med tech population. So I wanted to highlight some of the things that we do from an extra perspective for our med techs. And so first of all, here at OneBlood, we operate a 24/7 operation. So the first thing that we offer for our med techs is for those employees that work evenings and weekends, we offer a very competitive shift differential. So another piece we do is, of course, you heard from Jean, our med techs are highly trained. They have a lot of education. They need to maintain that education over time. So we support our team members with continuing education. We offer access to a partner online education program that automatically feeds continuing education data through to CE Broker. We also offer AAD webinars internally, and our employees access those webinars in Teams here as well on a regular basis. We also support our new team members with the purchase of their license and, of course, the maintenance of their license over time as well. Moving on to the next slide, some other things that we offer for our team members here at OneBlood who are med techs. We offer educational assistance. So for those folks that are further developing themselves, who want to develop their career, we fully support that here, and we offer educational assistance in that regard. Obviously, a number of our team members have already developed themselves, already invested in their own education, and we offer student loan repayment programs where we contribute towards monthly student loan repayment as well. And then the last piece is really around, if any of our viewers today on Facebook are watching from a little bit further afield, as an extra incentive, we also provide support towards relocation from there. So a range of benefits. We're competitive in the marketplace. We want to attract the best talent to our lab arena. It's a really important part of what we do.
Those are all great things to be able to share with people who are considering being a medical technologist and possibly joining our team here at OneBlood. And when they join, Carl, they're so much part of our team and helping carry out that life-saving mission. And during this week, we said at the top of the show, it's Medical Laboratory Professionals Week. And so we've been taking time to honor the hundreds of OneBlood team members working behind the scenes in our labs and honoring their service here this week, right?
That's right. Yeah, no, it's been a number of celebrations. So those of the Facebook viewers that joined last week will remember that we were celebrating Employee Appreciation Week. This week is all about Lab Week, and so you can see some of the images from the celebrations that are taking place here. I was in a conference room in our Fort Lauderdale lab a little earlier on today. There's cookies, there's balloons, there's cake. So there's all kinds of celebrations taking place this week with regards to Lab Week as well. We want to recognise and appreciate the great work that our med techs do in support of our med techs.
Absolutely. It's great. We're so happy that we were able to share in those celebrations with them this week. And they're there day in and day out working around the clock. As you said, 24 hours we operate behind the scenes. So it's great to be able to feature them and let people know what we have here with Medical Technologists. And Carl, it's great having you back on our show live in Fort Lauderdale this time. Last time you were in St. Petersburg, this time in Fort Lauderdale. That's where in the world is Carl Pierce, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm delighted to be here and excited to share more about the opportunities that we've got here at OneBlood, and encourage our viewers to kind of pay more attention to the opportunities we've got available. Sure.
Absolutely. We'll have you back on the show when we have our next round of Career Spotlight. So we want to thank you for joining us this time.
Thanks, Susan. I appreciate it.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
See ya. We'll see Carl next time. And remember, OneBlood.org is your first stop to a new career as a medical technologist at OneBlood. Just click on the Careers tab. You'll find the tab at the top of the screen. Then scroll down from there and you'll see all the positions we are hiring for, including medical technologists. Then just click on the Learn More button to begin the application process. Again, that's all at OneBlood.org on the Careers page. And I want to thank you for joining us again for our We Are OneBlood Career Series live on Facebook. We're really enjoying being able to give you an opportunity to see more of behind the scenes and the team members who work here. There's a lot of people here working very hard around the clock to help save lives, and we are excited to be able to feature our team members and for you all to get to know them better. And we'll be doing more of these, so be on the lookout for our next Career Spotlight. We'll be sure to post the date and time right here on our Facebook page so you know when to tune in. So until then, thanks for watching, and be sure and get on that big red bus.